day and night. I toss and turn, I keep stressing my mind.
What's up guys, Vicky here with a brand new MMA video. Just wanted to do another video following my last one just because I haven't done one in a while. But very interesting news coming out of the welterweight division of the UFC. Colby Covington is coming out. You know, I thought this guy would wait for a title shot, especially since he's the next one in line to face Usman. But apparently says Usman's still hurt and hasn't fully stated that he's ready to fight yet. Colby decided to take on this fight against ruthless Robbie Lawler this August in Newark, New Jersey. This is going to be a fascinating fight and very exciting one as well. As we all know, Robbie Lawler was supposed to face Tyron Woodley in their rematch this Saturday at UFC Minneapolis, but that fight cannot go to fruition since Tyron Woodley was forced out due to injury. Ever since then, Tyron's had surgery. He'll be out for a little while, so Tyron will be inactive for a couple of months, to be honest, until he can fully get back in there. I know he's training, but he's still got to get the okay at the doctors, the physicians, and the UFC staff as well. So this match is going to be a very intriguing one. I do want to share my keys to victory as well. So if Colby wants to win this fight, it's very easy. He's got to go for the takedown. Colby is a very established wrestler. He showed us his wrestling in many of his fights before, and it came in very handy against RDA at the same time. Ruthless Robbie Lawler, if there's one thing about him, is that he likes to stand and bang. He's not that known for being a good wrestler, even though he did dump Ben Askren on the ground head first during their fight at UFC Las Vegas just a couple of months ago, which was very impressive. I know Robbie's working with a brand new staff. He left ATT a little while ago to work with some new personnel. He looked great in that fight until Herb Dean stepped in and screwed everything up. I don't blame Herb Dean that much, but it was very, very hard to see. It looked like Robbie was out since Askren had him in a bulldog choke, but he wasn't. Herb Dean didn't see that, and it's just sad that fight had to end real early. But I'm hoping that this fight will go the full 5 rounds. Like I said, Robbie hasn't won in a while. He's lost 2 straight against Ben Askren and RDA. And I just think that if Askren wants to win this fight, he's going to have to try to knock Colby out, because Colby's going to try to utilize his wrestling. Colby's also going to try to stay the distance as well. If I were him, I'd try to utilize his head movement really well and also utilize the footwork just to dodge and evade the strikes of Robbie Lawler. He's a very powerful guy. He's got a lot of power in both of his hands, and he's knocked out plenty of people in the past. We all know that as well. That's why his nickname is Ruthless. This is, like I said, this is going to be a marquee matchup because if Robbie can be able to take out Colby, who's the former interim welterweight champion of the world, he should be able to jump ahead of a lot of guys in the division and try to fight Usman in the future for a future title shot if he can get this victory. Colby, the only reason why I see him taking this fight in the first place is to stay active. He hasn't fought in a long time. His last opponent was RDA. He was supposed to face Usman for the He was supposed to face Tyron Woodley for the championship, but Usman ended up getting in front of him of that because apparently he was hurt, and also apparently he was good to go after his injury, but he didn't decide that he wanted to fight in Las Vegas against Tyron Woodley. He screwed up right there. He should have taken the fight in Las Vegas. He could have beaten Tyron and he'd be champion right now instead of Usman, but instead he's going to be facing Robbie in 2 months. I look forward to that a lot, and see who comes out on top. You know, I feel like Colby's going to utilize his wrestling a lot. He's going to take down Robbie. If Robbie does work on his takedown defense like he did against Askren for those first couple of minutes, then he should be good. If, like I said, if Robbie really wants to win, he needs to knock Colby out. If not, you know, try to go for a takedown, get him on the floor and work some ground and pound. It was absolutely beautiful ground and pound that he was working against Ben Askren. He surprisingly got back up. I really thought that Herb Dean was going to stop the fight during that time just because Askren was eating it. He got busted wide open. He looked like he was out. But like I said, the fight went on, and Robbie ultimately lost that fight at the same time, but like I said, this is very interesting. The UFC, I give my props to Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, and Dana White for even making it. Mad respect to Colby Covington and Robbie Lawler. I believe Robbie only took the fight because Colby's the #1 contender in the division. I don't know where Tyron. I think he's either 1 or 2 as well, but it only makes sense for Colby to get this title shot because he was the former interim champion. He should have had it a couple months ago, but decided not to because he didn't want to fight in Las Vegas. That's his fault right there, but he can redeem himself by taking care of business against Robbie Lawler, who's one of the well-known fan favorites of the USC and a future Hall of Famer in his own right as well. So if Colby can win that fight, then he's for sure a #1 contender in the division, and he'll definitely get the next title shot next, depending on when Kamaru is good to go. I really would have loved to see this fight go down in Abu Dhabi, but if everything goes well and Colby wins that fight without being, too hurt in it, then Colby should fight Usman in New York, and I believe that's going to go down in October or December. So we're just gonna have to see what happens, but like I said, it's a good fight. Props to the UFC personnel for making it, and we're just gonna have to see who comes out on top. But appreciate you guys listening to this, and I'll definitely make some more videos in the future. See ya.